Her ears pounded as the adrenaline filled her body. She felt blood oozing from the numerous cuts and bruises that adored her figure. The tens of thousands footsteps sounded like thunder in her eardrums. Her vision darkened as the fatigue in her soul caught up with her. The dense woods became twisted, and in it she spotted a small rumble. The shadows of the trees basking the ancient fort in permanent darkness. The stony gray walls painting her life in shallowness. She collapsed at the entrance with nothing left to sacrifice. Where the sky was dark and the wind blew cold, an old fort sat forgotten and unneeded with time, in the thick of a deep forest. Who is she? He thought. He stared at the pale, slightly taller girl with injuries complementing her body. As he slightly edged towards the young girl and reached out to touch her, orange sparks erupted from the place he touched, lighting the gloomy forest with light. What just happened? He thought. 3 glistening yet scared bandages were still attached to her, signifying her statue in the kingdom. 0 through 8 were the number of bandages you could have. The closer you were to having 0 or 8, the wealthier, and as a side effect, the happier you became than you typically were. The bandages were also a major point of the major religion, curiosity. With almost everyone a follower in the kingdom, they connected every person spiritually, making most happier with 0 or 8 bandages. That explains the injuries, Bromine thought darkly. His own 7 bandages feeling heavier pinned in his chest. The girl started shifting around and slowly opening her eyes, finding herself looking deeply and directly at Bromine. She quickly scored away, trying to get to her feet. "Wait, who are you?" she questioned, raising to her full height at a few inches above Bromine, squinting at him. "Bromine, what are you doing here, miss? I live here." She paused quickly, looking behind her into the darkness of the trees as if she was paranoid. "I need you to hide me, sir." She took off towards the overhang of the classical forest. "Why are you here, in this dark, dirty place, mister?" she quickly questioned him, sitting down against the wall. "I ran away from home," Bromine said, sadly. "Same." They both looked at each other, sharing a weak grin after a moment. "I'm Aluminium. What was the reason for you running?" she said, faintly smiling, looking over his 7 bandages. "My mom wanted me to steal a bandage from their co-worker's child, Hendrik, because my mom had blackmailed her parents, even though normally we would share bandages because of our classifications. I refused, even though I felt like I needed it since it just wasn't right. Both of my parents tried to make me, so I left," Bromine said, with his voice growing quiet at the end. Alum's eyes softened as she listened. "My parents want me to get married to someone just because they have 5 bandages. Even though I always hated him, they said it's the best for my future, so I could give up all my bandages and have 0. My head was telling me for the best, but my heart wasn't in it. So I left, and my parents sent the police after me," she finished, with an audible sigh. They sat in the silence for a few minutes, processing everything they heard and said. Alum stood up after a while. "I need to go," she said. Bromine was quiet for a few seconds, thinking. "I'm coming. I miss the company, and maybe along the way we can find someone to really bond with." He stood up with a refreshing smile. "Great. We got to go, like, now, 'cause I think they're coming after me," she yelled, spotting the dozen officers stepping out into the clearing. "Wait for me," Bromine sighed. "Come on, you're so slow," she laughed in the distance. The end.